So welcome to another Ford tutorial video, and today we are going to be servicing FMDVHGA. So you'd have already removed your valve from the vehicle, and the first stage is to disassemble your valve. Pretty straightforward. So we've got this milled edge here, so we just wind that anti-clockwise, and as you're doing so, just be careful because it's going to pop very slightly with the spring side. There we go. So just open that up and take your spring out. So with the spring removed, the next job is to remove the piston from the valve. So take a flat bladed screwdriver or something similar, and on the valve you'll see there's a groove in each of these ports here. So just angle your flat blade in and pop out the valve. Do that carefully. And then the tricky bit now is to pull the rest of the piston out. Put that down there. Now, with using some tweezers or long nose pliers, or even your fingernail, we need to remove these three O-rings from the valve. So I use my fingernail to prise it out the O-ring. Same with the middle ones, these are a little bit easier to remove. There we go. Just be careful not to damage the body of the valve. The bottom one is the toughest. There we go, like so. Okay. So we just now need to clean the body of the valve. Simply use a rag, cloth, whatever, and get rid of any old contaminants. I mean, this is a brand new valve, so you can see the nice shiny red grease on this one, but you may want to use some brake cleaner or clutch cleaner, whatever, to really give the body a good thorough clean. Take your fitting kit, which for this valve is product FMDVHGA, FMDVHGA. So it's a bit of a mouthful. So what have we got? We've got a new piston, a little pot of grease, a Ford sticker, a new O-ring kit. In there we have a large O-ring, two medium O-rings, small O-ring, and a very thin O-ring. So we take the thin O-ring and again the two medium-sized O-rings, but again slightly thinner density to these two here. These two large ones, we'll see these till later. So now we're going to install our O-rings. So take the two medium-sized O-rings, that are both the same, and fit those in the body like so. These will just pop into place, nice and straightforward, and then take the thinnest of the O-rings and pop that on the top of the body. The next stage is to apply grease to the body and to the piston of the valve. So for this, Ford always recommend you use gloves, so a latex glove is ideal for this, and just smother where you fitted your O-rings, and just a bit on the top, just for helping to seal, just a nice bit on the top. And it doesn't hurt to put a little bit on the thread as well, give it a nice, there we go. So now take your new piston, and again with this, just a little dollop on there, a light smothering, and just push the piston back into the valve, like so. Okay. You can put a little misting of grease on the inside of the piston as well. I'm going to take the glove off now. Drop the spring back in and the lid of the valve. So you need to push this down a wee bit, but very, very gently. There we go. Gently do the valve up. Now the reason for that is you don't want to cross thread it. So it should just screw up like so with a little effort. That's when you know it's seated properly. Then choose your orientation. I tend to fit the valve back on, choose my orientation once it's in situ, and just nip it up. But there's no need for spanners. We'll do it up really, really tight because you'll never get it undone again. Finally now, the two remaining O-rings, which are thicker in diameter, to replace these two on the base. And again, like before, just grab your tweezers, pop out the original O-rings. There we go, there's one. Okay, and the same with the larger O-ring, just pop them out of its housing and simply apply your new O-rings. Push them home. That is the servicing of your valve completed.